So what if everything you thought you knew about time is just plain wrong? Today, we're diving into something called constant time theory, a framework that basically flips our whole understanding of reality on its head. It is a huge idea, so let's kick things off with an equally huge number.
Take a look at this. 1.85 times 10 to the power of 43. I mean, that's a number so big our brains can't really even process it. In physics, it's called the Planck time frequency. It's the absolute smallest possible tick of the cosmic clock. So what on earth could it possibly represent?
Well, here it is. This is the wild, absolutely mind-bending question at the very heart of constant time theory. What if existence isn't some smooth, continuous movie, but more like an impossibly fast slideshow? That everything you see, everything you feel, your very being, is being refreshed at this unimaginable rate. Yeah, let that sink in. This is our jumping-off point into a totally radical new model of reality. Now, that idea might sound totally brand new, something straight out of science fiction, but really, it taps into one of the oldest, most profound questions humanity has ever asked. In a universe where everything is always changing, what's the one thing that holds it all together? What actually lasts?
You know, for thousands of years, just about every culture on Earth has felt that there's something fundamental propping up reality. They've all come up with different names for it: God, the Tao, the Great Architect, but they were all pointing to the same deep intuition, that there must be some unseen, constant force that sustains existence from one moment to the next.
And this is where constant time theory offers a brand new answer to that ancient question. It suggests that this enduring, foundational principle isn't some supernatural being or a far-off entity. No, it's something woven directly into the fabric of our experience. It's time itself.
And what's really fascinating is when you put the qualities side by side. Look at this. The things we've historically said about the divine, that it's eternal, ever-present, unseen but foundational, the power that sustains everything, well, those are almost a perfect mirror for the properties of time in this theory. Now, the idea isn't that God is time, but that maybe, just maybe, our ancient search for God was actually an intuitive search for the fundamental nature of time all along. Okay, so how does this all actually work? Let's shift gears from the big, philosophical why to the physics how, and look at the framework that makes this idea tick.
All right, you gotta really lock in on this part because this is the absolute core of it. Ever since Einstein, we've been taught that time is relative. It can stretch, it can shrink, depending on how fast you're moving or how strong gravity is. CT2 completely flips that script. It says no, time is the one true constant. It flows the same for everyone, everywhere, no exceptions. It's space that's the dynamic, bendy, relative thing.
And the whole theory can be captured in this one, beautifully simple formula that describes the relationship between time and space. This is the core equation. It might look simple, but every single part of it is redefining how we see the cosmos. Let's break it down real quick.
First up, you've got T. Now, this isn't the time you see on your watch. Think of this as the fundamental, unstoppable flow of existence itself. It's the shared now that every single thing in the entire universe experiences at the exact same moment. In this model, the present moment is truly, absolutely universal.
Next, you have S. This is space. And unlike time, space is the dynamic stage where all the action happens. It's the thing that can stretch and bend and warp. All motion, every interaction, every single thing that happens within this malleable field of space.
And finally, we have ds squared. This basically measures the interval between two different events, but here's the crucial difference from relativity. Any change in this measurement comes only from a change in space, s, and that means that time, t, flows identically for every single observer in the universe, period.
So, if we run with this, if we accept this framework, what does it actually mean for how we see the universe? Well, it changes almost everything, from the very beginning of the cosmos to our own place within it. Let's start with the big one, the Big Bang. We usually think of that as the moment everything, including time itself, popped into existence. CTT says, nope, time is eternal. The Big Bang wasn't the birth of time. It was just a massive event that happened within time. It wasn't the creation of the universe, just the creation of our observable corner of it.
And this reframes all sorts of other cosmic mysteries. Black holes, they're just extreme distortions of space, but the universal now just keeps on flowing, completely unaffected. The expansion of the universe, that's just space stretching out across this constant river of time. And what about time dilation? You know, the astronaut whose clock ticks slower? Well, CTT says that's just a local measurement effect. They're still experiencing the exact same universal present moment as you and me.
Okay, so this theory doesn't just rewrite cosmology books. It completely reframes our place in the universe. If time is just this constant, indifferent foundation of reality, what does that actually mean for us? For our purpose, our morality, our responsibility to each other?
Well, it puts the responsibility squarely on our shoulders. If there's no grand cosmic plan, then our meaning comes purely from consequence. What we do actually matters. Our identity isn't some pre-written destiny, it's defined by how we choose to show up in this shared present. And crucially, the job of making the world a better, more just place, well, that's not outsourced to some higher power. That job is entirely 100% ours.
I absolutely love this quote from the source material because it just perfectly captures this idea. Time gives us this constant, unchanging stage to live on, but there's no script. We're the ones writing the play, moment by moment, through our actions and their consequences.
And all of this leads us with one final, really profound thought. In a universe governed by a constant, indifferent time, our legacy isn't going to be defined by what we believed or our faith or our doctrines. It's going to be defined by what we chose to take care of, what we preserved, and what patterns of compassion and stability we left behind for the next people who will inhabit this shared now. The real question is, what are we going to choose to sustain?